Hello. This video shows building the frames of the barge. In order to see the frame better, I need to hide a lot of the other components. Let me get rid of the wheels, digger, legs, boat, sluice box, crane and motors, the work platform, and finally the containers. So we built the frame mostly with 2 7/8 inch drill pipe. It is built in 8 sections. Each end comes apart into pieces small enough to fit inside the container. The bottom of the frame is doubled so the container can rest on the ends and transfer its weight. On each end, there are 4 large tabs that pin the frame to the containers. The containers sit on top of the crossbar of the frame, and the big tabs insert into the corners of the containers. To keep them from racking, we built cross bracing that bolts to the container frame and inserts into the fork pockets, and also bolts to the tabs on the end frames. Remember, the containers are actually upside down, so the under frame of the container is now the roof. When we started, the containers were right side up, so let's turn this over. We started by building the frame sections, assembling them, and putting them in place one end at a time. We even got our friend and master welder Lee McKnight to come and help us. First we assembled the back side, and then the front side. Once we made sure they would fit, we removed the frames and turned the containers over. We then put the frames back on and blocked it up from underneath. Next, we assembled the work platform and lift crane. Once we had the crane together, we temporarily rigged it to give it a test. Yeah, that didn't work so well. Our geometry was off a bit, so back to the drawing board. In the end, we placed the crane up on top, and it worked out much better. Here was the first time we lowered the digger from up on top. The next phase was to cut the doors in half and mount our blocking plates. That meant we had to take the frame off, again. Once the plates were in, we reinstalled the center catwalk for the sluice box and reassembled the frame. Next on the agenda was inserting the legs and mounting the winches. I used electric winches for the legs. I didn't think it was safe to rely on the brakes of the winch to hold the barge long term. So I made a safety chain and chain catch system on the frame. This allows the weight of the barge to suspend on the chains once lifted up. As soon as it was together, we couldn't resist running it up in the airways. That green ladder is a 7-foot step ladder. To keep the legs from sinking into the ground, we made some feet that can swivel to match the surface. They slip into the bottom of the legs and attach with a chain. The next hurdle was being able to move the barge on land to put it in the water and take it back out at the end of the season. All vessels in Nome have to be removed from the harbor in the winter because it freezes. To be able to move the barge around on land, I decided to make a set of wheels for each leg. We got 4 trailer house axles and narrowed them to make the wheels. The front set needed to turn so we could steer the barge. We made them like a set of caster wheels, like on an office chair. Of course, as soon as we got the wheels under it, Ernie wondered how hard it was going to be to move it. After a couple tugs, we had the barge turned and ready to move. The last thing to finish up on the containers was to finish the doors so they would close and seal against our new blocking plates. Oh, and being able to lock them would be nice too. We were able to reuse the original hardware after shortening the bars up a bit. Well, that's a little bit on how we put the frames together. Thank you for watching.